criteria with the residential being up top because they're not going to get any commercial traffic. So they asked us to investigate what we would be willing to do to
maybe we need a new zone that we don't know yet, but these things take a lot of time, and I think in the meantime, people need someplace to live. I would say this is a good interim fix, but I agree with you, it's not the ultimate fix, but the ultimate fix is going to take a long time. I remember when we created the EE zone.
Can I just say one thing, just because I like to remind people this in public comments, because it just says public comment and there's not an agenda item specifically about a specific issue, the supervisors cannot make any decision today on anything that is brought up in public comment. It's a chance to share comments, possibly get some information back, but no guarantee on that, but also that there's no, I just want to make sure everybody knows because I see a lot of new faces.
Steffener, and I live over in Hope, New Jersey. Ron, I'd like to start with you because you're not paying attention to one thing. Can I have your attention, sir?
Look up!
Can you look at me while I speak to you like a regular man?
Sir, I'm going to need your name.
Sean Rogers.
Don't
have a
tell
great
me
day.
what to do, young man.
Don't make
Sir,
it about me.
Don't
Make it
tell
about
me
the
what
track.
to do.
I would like to speak to you.
You okay?
Aye,
Me and not. You've got a problem.
I'd like to start with you.
You're
You
actually
got
there
any
for us.
children?
Got my attention.
Do you have any children?
Yes.
How old are they?
How? You don't know?
To like
You don't know. You gotta think about it. Let's go on to the next guy. John, you got any kids? What do they do? What sports do they like?
sports.
They played all sports, right. Did they ever ride a dirt bike or a bicycle or anything?
They rode bicycles.
They rode bicycles, right? Mike, how about you? You got kids? I'm sure you do, right? You got kids as well? No kids? You got any kids? Hello?
Yeah,
You
I
have
don't
any
answer
kids?
you because there's a court case on this and I can't say anything and I won't.
Because you know you're fucking
Does he
wrong.
already lie?
You guys don't even know who I am. You know nothing about me. I ask you a simple question. Do you have kids? What does that have to do with the court case?
Just as a reminder, this is a public comment period.
Bottom line
It's
is,
a comment period. It's
bottom
not
line is you
supposed
got a bunch of kids here at 9 o'clock on a school night, a bunch of dads that work all freaking day. We came out of our way from all over creation to support the Burns and the Back9 and Zach. We're not going away, plain and simple. We will not go away.
Good evening, members of the board, Chairman. My name is Jennifer Dorflinger Peck.
Can you spell that
Yes,
for me?
D-O-R-F-L-I-N-G-E-R. Last name Peck, P-E-C-K. I live in Branch Hill, New Jersey. Though I am a vested person to this community, I have a vested interest in this community. And I'm actually here tonight in response to the meeting actually on 7/22. I watched the meeting, and it's why I've actually come here tonight. First and foremost, I support the Back9. What I represent which is family, discipline, hard work, dedication, hope in the achievement of dreams. The Back9 holds a very special place in my heart. It's a track which shows unconditional love to every single person that has ever set foot on this soil. Something I have been a part of firsthand, and something that to those that don't like motocross, they clearly cannot understand. This is why we're here tonight. I read the transcripts, I watched the meetings, and I fail to understand how a select few individuals have had such power to have perpetuated at the expense of this township such extensive, costly legal proceedings, which all started because of 16 non-consecutive, weather permitting, riding hours a week that span, if you're lucky, 7 months out of the year. I'm fully aware that this issue is rooted in both a nuisance complaint wrapped up in a zoning issue, and that the current state of the issue lies with the Commonwealth Court. It's my understanding that the Back9 won their zoning case, and the town has appealed this ruling, thus perpetuating further legal proceedings.
Why?
Ron Karasek stated in last month's meeting that, taken directly from your meeting. The bill for the month was very high, over $8,000, just for the Mountain Manor case.
It's
I
not
told
funny.
the bookkeeper the town can deduct $1,000 off the bill as a courtesy to the town, so the bill is not as severe. We need to be careful when we start filing cases in court, as it gets to be expensive. He then references 2 appeals, the injunction and other issues involving Mountain Manor, but that he just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of where they were at cost-wise. Which begs the question, how much has the town spent in total on all of the legal proceedings since the inception of this case? How much more will be spent on proceedings that have yet to occur? I would be curious to know how transparent the town wishes to be disclosing this amount rather than having me file a request for the information. And I would also be curious to know if the town pays their bills and obligations from their general fund, capital improvement fund, and professional escrow fund. How many of the townspeople that support the track are aware that some of their tax dollars are funding the very lawsuit that they oppose, Mountain Manor's taxes included? I also understand that the town offered for Hudson and Graham to be able to ride on select days as long as there was a constable or police officer present. So you're willing to pay for that so those kids can ride their home track?
Ridiculous.
I stand before you.
Ridiculous.
Hold on,
I stand before you today as one of the many who support this track.
How
I stand
embarrassing.
before you as the wife of a rider, the mother of 2 riders, and the mother of a son who lost his job when the injunction closed down the track. I stand before you as someone who cannot fathom how Back9, which has complied with your injunction, took measures to address concerns about noise levels built regarding, by building a sound wall to mitigate concerns, and kept their own children from riding the very track that was initially built for them, cannot seem to be recognized for all of the positives that have been brought to the lives of so many. Make no mistake, the love that we have for this track is bigger than the few that seek to close it down.
We'll never
Take
go
it in
away.
all of you.
We'll never go away.
Take it in all of you.
We will never go away.
While initially I had empathy for the perceived reality of those that had a complaint, the lack of compromise, coupled with the continued complaints, is nothing short of despicable. Zach wasn't polished in his delivery to you last month, but make no mistake about his passion and his love for that track. And the Burn Boys, it's real. It speaks volumes of his commitment to what that track means to him. There's no de-escalation training. When an impassioned man is speaking from a place of love and frustration at how this whole matter has been handled.
Illegally.
Hudson, Grant, Zach, Lisa, and Mike are not alone in this fight. We stand here today as proof that this track is bigger and more meaningful than a select few. And I thank you for the opportunity to speak.
You guys know me. The appeal for the zoning, which quite frankly I don't think we need a special exemption because motorsports activities have always acted at Mountain Manor. And Robert, he's been there, he knows all this. And it's nice of you to finally show back up to work. How long were you gone in Spain for? A month? 2? And now you show up. Appreciate you being there. You're doing a great job, bud. And all of this stuff that we're dealing with now, you have been a part of. You've been there. And you've avoided us. We've had questions for you. We wanted to depose you, and you've avoided us. For months. For months. On fucking purpose.
Why?
Because you have all the answers. All this is being held up because of you. Probably you too. I don't think you really know much about what's going on. Unfortunately, I kind of like it. You seem to have your head on straight more than these 2 weasels. And yeah, it's you guys, especially you, Ron, you're dragging it out. Why are you dragging this out even more? Why aren't you submitting your stuff to the court for the appeals? You just keep dragging it out, and it's great because you're pampered, your pocket's open, our lawyer's pocket's open. You guys are just loving this,
Run him into
And
the
we're just
ground.
gonna just keep perpetuating it at the cost for Tammy Booth and this lady. You guys say I'm aggressive. This lady at Country Kettle drove by and flipped me off the other day. She flipped me off driving by, and I'm the aggressive one. Miss Piggy over here is gonna flip me off.
When's it gonna stop?
And then I guarantee you at the end of today, her husband, every meeting I leave here, her husband's out at the end of the driveway going like this. Every single fucking time I leave here.
And you guys
Every
don't
time
stop.
I leave
You're
here,
perpetuating
and you
it.
guys make me to be the bad person because I have a voice. And I really appreciate my rights and being able to talk fucking freely. So, just know, and then also, I'm not sure where Oliver is. Come here, Oliver. Oliver. Oliver works at the track. He is our main staging guy. Oliver, not a person goes by with what? Oliver, tell him what you check at the gate. What do you check at there? What do you check at staging for everyone?
What are they
If
wearing?
they're wearing what?
Homemade.
Yeah, and then what?
Make sure that it's what, Oliver? Check their chin. What does it have to
You
be?
get nervous, aren't you, bud?
Stop.
Yeah, it's alright, but
It has to be buckled, right?
yeah, so Oliver works with us every day that we're open. He is here with us. And the same people.
And he rides a dirt bike.
Yeah,
That's one example right
rips.
there
He's
of the
sick.
life we saved, right there. Kid wouldn't even talk to nobody.
Chili
Oliver,
wanted to ride a dirt bike.
Oliver's with me every week, and we teach him a lot. And at the same time, the people you guys are defending with taxpayer money are standing on the property line, calling us, these two, the R word. The R word. And you guys are up here defending them.
Don't
Good job,
understand.
guys. You're doing good. This is what we have to deal with. And we're the ones that are getting constantly attacked. Anytime I go up and I mow my grass by the property line, the booths are out there videotaping me, doing anything they can, verbally harassing me, calling me and my kids the R word. They're also, anything under the sun, Tammy's telling me I smell, I look like I smell, I'm sorry. I actually have a job, I work my ass off. So if some of you actually could do your jobs and submit the stuff and stop delaying, because everyone knows, he's even said it, he knows that the noise ordinance won't work. Upper Mount Bethel, they have a fucking dusty ass noise meter. You guys all know your noise meter, you're not fucking noise certified, that's a fucking joke! That's a fucking joke! If we were noise certified, you would fucking fine me for a fucking noise violation, but you can't because you're out there with your cell phone looking like a dickhead.
When's the bullshit gonna
So,
stop?
when are you gonna stop? No. I'm cool. I'm really cool. I'm fucking great. So, when's it gonna stop? When are you gonna do something?
This is just frustration.
Everyone just keeps
We're
fucking
done.
spinning in circles because he said legally we know we're right. You talked in the special exemption about adding rules in the special exemption because if someone were his own resort, they could come and build a motocross track, just like the Back 9 Motocross track did. Holy shit, you guys are fucking up. You're just dragging this fucking out at the expense of what? Her and fucking Tammy, so they can sit there and fucking say vulgar
And
things.
give us the finger.
So, you guys are doing a fucking great job.
Terrific.
L.E. S.B.Y. I reside in Ann Arbor Township, New Jersey.
Sorry, what township?
A. Harbor Township. Yeah, I'm coming at an angle for that Back 9 track that it's not just a facility, it's a huge family. If you can't see, I live 3.5 hours from here. On a Tuesday night, I'll come up here to support my family. We spend thousands of dollars a week for our kids to stay off the street. Thousands of dollars a week for our kids not to touch drugs and alcohol. $1,000 a week to make sure my son are with his best friends, right? I'll tell you straight up, it's a very hard sacrifice for parents to do what we do for our kids. I live in Atlantic City. I'm 3 minutes out of Atlantic City, New Jersey. I don't live in no backwoods situations. We live in the hood. I gotta have a place for that boy to ride. It is not fair for my kid to be involved in the streets. We set up places to ride. I remember when they first did the track, them three boys right there, Bubba, Huggy, and Grant, was out there with shovels, making a place for themselves to ride, to safely ride their machines. They're fully geared up, the machines are fully serviced for their safety. And I understand people's complaints, but then we say, these kids sit in the house all day on an iPad. But then we give these kids something to do, and now they don't have nothing to do, because this is all they know. We travel from Maine to Florida racing dirt bikes. Live in campers, literally, living out of campers, half our lives, to give these kids something positive to do. And it's hard because, you know how many times you can't afford it, but you can't tell your kid, no, we ain't going racing? You know what happens? Another family backs you to make sure your kid can go racing. Woo! It ain't just a one-person sport. Or the parents ain't even on the machines, but the parents got to do it for the kids. And I can't put my kid with half those kids that live in our town because they're making a wrong decision. I got to drive 3.5 hours to put my kids with positions with positive kids that's doing something with their life. And it's very hard when those kids have something to work for. We gonna go in here and do our schoolwork so we can go ride. We gonna go in there, oh, mom said clean the room. We're gonna get the room clean so we can go ride. But now, which I feel horrible for, them two boys can't even ride their own property. And it has to be a change. It has to be somewhere where we can come to agreement that a little give and take on both ends, that we should be able to provide something for our kids to do it in a positive manner. This world is in a bad situation. First thing in our lives is Jesus. Before we teach our boys.
You're here.
Jesus Christ, all of us pray together. We pray together when we race dirt bikes. We're not riding dirt bikes on the street. We're not wheeling dirt bikes up and down somebody's sidewalk. We're in a space with safety that they can do what they have to do. It's a very hard situation when you take that away from them and they're saying, Dad, I want to go ride. I want to go ride. Where do we have to do? Where can we go? You know, I understand where you come at, and I understand safety and all that. It's all there. Accidents happen. Accidents want to be part of anything you do in life. I can go get a kid a soccer ball and go break his arm, you know? And this is not just, this is our sport. Our sport may not be normalized the most, but this is what our kids know, and this is what we know as a family to provide for our kids. So I need you to look at, when you're looking at things, we don't want to open that up. And what do we have for these kids that they love to do? We're not the ball parents. We're not, our kids ain't into the ball sport. Our kids are into their machines. I guarantee you right now, them boys right there can rebuild dirt bikes, change tubes, change tires. That's our thing. When you ain't riding, you're in the garage. You're servicing your dirt bike. You're helping your boys service their dirt bike. It's the only way we want to keep these kids off the street. If we give our kids to the street, we fail. If you allow us to give our kids to the street, you failed us. Mm-hmm. We don't want, none of us wants to fail. The Lord put us together to work together. So it's got to be somewhere, somehow, we can all work together and do this where we can keep our kids moving in the right direction.
It's not every day.
And it's not every day, but guess what? The passion for these boys and them machines is every day, every second of their life. Them boys talk on the phone all day long. They talk about their machines and the Lord. That's what we teach. The Lord's first in your life, your family, and whatever your machine, you and your machine got going on, get it done. We traveled everywhere with this family. They called me today, Pig, what are you doing? I'm wrenching, I'm in the shop. That's all I ever did was wrench my whole life. Okay, I'll be up, no problem. I drive 3.5 hours. Why? Because I would do it for my son to have somewhere safe to ride. I would do it for the kids in their community that didn't have nowhere to go. They come there, and they just came there to help out, and guess what happens? They learn how to ride a dirt bike. They learn how to work on the machine. We're actually being a parent and not giving them a device and doing what we want to do. We're actually parenting our kids the way we know how to parent. We're actually giving these kids opportunity in life. So please don't allow y'all to fail us. Because we're all dependent on everyone to make this situation happen. Thank you.
I guess near talk about the consequences that you guys maybe don't realize. This area doesn't offer a lot of development for you young men, and most of us have turned to drugs and alcohol and all other types of vices. And even sitting at this meeting today, listening to you guys talk, so the one contract that we had one bidder, this is what raises strong men. They're the men that build America. They're the ones that are first responders. They're the ones that protect the country. And if you're going to continue to get rid of these self-development facilities, I guess I'll call them, you're going to continue to go down the hill. And even you guys said there's commercials that there's only industrial and residential. So you got the choice of getting swallowed up by Amazon or allowing us to do what we love to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
As the Back9, Robert, you were there the day that we opened. You trespassed on my property and you took my merchandise and threw it on the ground and cursed me out. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. We had multiple conversations about opening the training and practice facility right here in the beautiful Pocono Mountains. We are situated on a lot of acreage. We intend to keep that space green, and we intend to pass that on to our children so that we can keep this sport of motocross alive and keep the Poconos green and beautiful as it was intended. I also feel that, I don't know if you've been honest with people about the fact that we did come to you and we did try to settle this before there was any injunction or any legal issues. The track, I was told by your former zoning officer, Ken Wolf, who we did depose. We also deposed Michael. He gave us a lot of information under oath, a lot of truth. Thank you for being honest about all of the mess that you guys have created. You let go of Ken Wolf. Ken Wolf came onto my property 6 times. He broke bread with my family. We intended to keep a relationship with you to make this a joint venture. You supported us doing this. You were all for the green space. You were very proud of the efforts of my children and my family in this sport. You were looking forward to their achievements all across the country, making East Stroudsburg a name on the map for our athleticism, right? Like, these kids work really, really hard. You gassed us up and told us you thought this was a great idea for the community, right? Until one neighbor complained. You told us to go up to her home and to win her over. So you know what I did? Ken Wolf told me that I could operate a motocross track 24 hours a day, 7 days a week per my zoning on the deed to my property, which we have owned for over a decade. We have been residents in this community and rode dirt bikes right up the road with these people. All of these people rode before we opened the Back9 for over a decade safely, without your permission. We came to you. We came to Ken. We came to Julia. What permits are required? What permits are required? None. Rivers Edge Bike Park has no permits, correct? You told us we needed no permits. We have followed all of your legal BS. My children have not rode in our backyard in over 10 months.
Because of some asshole.
Because we are law-abiding citizens. Please let me speak. We are law-abiding citizens. We have not violated any of the things that Judge Zulik has asked of us. This one has, I'm not quite sure if Tammy Booth and our neighbors are aware that they've offered to settle with us. They know we're going to ride dirt bikes on our property. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when this is over. Because when we get to a higher court, we will win. Because in black and white, the law is on our side. You know this. Ron especially knows this. He's gotten quite friendly with our legal counsel.
Of course he does.
They talk a lot. They offered for my children to ride 2 days a week. Did they tell you that? They're letting us ride our dirt bikes. They offered for us to ride 2 days a week, provided that you guys provide a paid-for constable to watch us. 2 township officials are going to be there. Which one of you are going to come to my property and watch my kids ride?
I vote Robert.
We chose not to take that offer from you. We're going to wait for your next offer. Actually, we're going to wait until we go to court because we will win this case. But in the meantime, I would like to return to the status quo prior to opening the back 9, and I would like to allow my family and my club members to ride in my backyard because that's what we did before any of this happened. So I do think that your negotiation and we sat in this room and negotiated, and you know what this gentleman and this one told us? Take the motocross track off the table. We'll give you all the permits. You could do all the development you want. Take the motocross track off the table. No shop.
Slime ball.
No shop.
Dirtbag. Slime ball.
So, you told me that day you came, your husband has a lot of irons in the fire. You better be careful, correct?
Was that
Those are
when
your words.
you
What's your
trespassing
name?
through our
You
stuff on
told
the
me
ground?
that. You said if you choose to continue to ride the dirt bikes, there's going to be a lot of trouble for your family. Didn't you threaten me with that? You did.
Yeah,
did.
you won't talk.
And guess
because
what?
it's a fucking weasel.
I believe it is within our rights
Weasel.
to do what we wish to do on our property. So I beg you to consider the fact that what you are robbing this community. I have hundreds of letters from children, grandparents, parents, former people who have struggled with
I've already
issues
sent 'em
that
to 'em,
come
they
and
shredded
ride
'em.
dirt bikes in my backyard. I've provided an environment that is safe, that is conducive to what it is we need to do to prop these kids up. All I'm asking you is that you consider not wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars we are spending, right, Ron?
Township money.
Trial is going to be very expensive, Ron.
Right.
Everybody listen up. Hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars
And
so
wait,
that
they
we
need
can
to build a
eventually
new
open
bridge.
up.
They need to build a new bridge.
Thank